Well, this is my house. Come on. I gave Ellen a few things to hang on to, in case of emergency. She must have hidden it around here. Come on, Ellie, where'd you hide it? That red thing. We call it a dragon heart. Ha. Don't ask why. Take it with you. You might need it. Come on, let's go. There you are. Hurry up. Hey, take a look at that matchbook you found. I got a hunch. Let's get this door unlocked. Can't stand around all day. What are you waiting for?
Is that the...
The World Stone. Yes. Or part of it, anyway. Every shard's as useful as the whole. We shut it down after Harsgard died. Like I told Ellen at the time. The damn thing's more dangerous than useful. Huh. Of course not. Never mind. Now, let's see if that worked.
Worked to do what, exactly?
So many journeys. I wonder if the Andrew Ford who first touched this crystal, did he ever come back? Go back. Tell Bo to bury this place. Not just lock it away, but get some explosives and bury it in a tomb of concrete. More dangerous than useful, traveler. Remember that.
Ford! Ford? Ford!
Oh man, Bo is gonna be pissed.
That bastard did it. He actually woke it up.
Clementine. Hey.
Did he tell you how to use it? Do I even want to?
System failure is imminent. The core has been compromised. The utility is required. Commencing acquisition.
Help!
Clementine!
Don't let go! I'm slipping! Don't let it take me!
Clementine! Shit! Shit! Shit!
No, don't do it.
Don't you do it!
Oh, this is so stupid.
Clementine! Ford?
Shit! Where are you guys?
Oh, this is all insane! With the crystal and Ford!
Better get moving if I'm gonna find Clementine.
Paxeltak. Those foreign to the pan have not been seen upon Yesha for long and long. The pestilence takes me. Or is it now simply part of what I am? It's been so long. The difference hardly matters. But the Paxeltak, how comes it here, to Yesha? The Red Crystal. I have seen them in my restless slumber. The pestilence think of them often. Especially the stones of the Paxeltak's earth. I am Bedell of the Vault. When this world was young, the pan did service to the green and growing things. Now, the pan betrays the world. And the world, the wolf, betrays the pan. Those of its kind rarely walk this land. Paxeltak, it would seem, come only at times of great change. First, the Krell. Then the one called Ford. Even our god, the one of many, could not stand against the Baxotak. No, that was not the Ford. The Baxotak that killed our god became known as the Destroyer. The Baxotak Ford became known as the Empress's Bane. The Empress's Bane has not been to Yesha in a generation. Not since another came to free it. Change, as I said. Yet in the same generation, I have been trapped here. Eyes open to the foul pestilence, yet blind to the present. Who can say what has transpired in that time? Alas, I know little else. Yet there is much to be known. Yesha shrouds many secrets within her embrace. The Ravager, plague of the Pan and defiler of the Doe. The wolf hunts all, yet is itself unhunted. To the shame of all Pan. Once part of the balance, the immortal Ravager has cast aside this world and pledged fealty to the pestilence that would destroy all worlds. And the Red Doe, that which held the Ravager in check for long and long, has not been seen in an age. If it seeks to save its own life and world, the Baxotak must hunt the Ravager and end it. The beast is not alone. The Lamir have given themselves to it in service. Once servants of the Eternal Empress, many Lamir have been seduced by the Ravager's blood-soaked tongue, and thus betrayed the Ban. Beware, Baxotak. They will fight until the beast's final breath. More than it can imagine, Baxotak. Trade? Perhaps. Money is of little use to me for obvious reasons, but others may find value in what the Baxotak may leave behind. Take what it will, Baxotak, but leave something it considers of equal value. Sacrifice to the balance, and give to the Ban. Use it in good health, and think of this old bond.
You're alive. Where's... What happened? Wait, what? Clementine? Where is she? Is she okay? Right, sorry. Clementine, she means a lot to all of us. We gotta find her. I'll get everybody together. If she went through the World Stone, she could be anywhere. Yeah, damn straight you could. She could be anywhere, like worlds away. All right, I'll get Brabus and Riggs. I'll tell them to... Oh, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what's out there any more than you do. Oh, I'd be putting the whole town at risk. Clem wouldn't want that. Hell, it's a miracle you came back. Oh, I'm sorry. Town will help you all it can, but I can't ask anyone to go out there. We gotta trust you to find her. Is that all right? Thanks, Traveler. Talk to the folks around town. They should have any supplies you need. You know, Ford used to tell me, old Commander Ford, not the founder, that a leader and a hero are two different things. The leader's place is always with her people. I thought she was just taking a dig at her grandfather for leaving all the time, but I think I'm starting to understand her better now. Good luck.
Hey, over here! God damn, it is you! The rumors had me thinking I might not ever see you again. They said you ran off with that old Ford fella and disappeared. I ain't seen you since. Where have you been? Ha! That tracks. Someone gets in trouble, so you go on after her. Just remember you owe me still. That debt's non-transferable. I'm guessing this thing with Clementine had something to do with that big-ass crystal floating over there. Bo said it can take you other places. Other worlds, even. Feels like anything can be true here. They even healed my root rot. I tell you what, I might just start believing in fairy tales. Even Santa Claus and Fulton's Blend. Yeah, I don't know what's in that stuff Doc Nora gave me, but I ain't felt this good for years. Hell, maybe it was Fulton's Blend. You know me. I get anxious sitting still for too long. So, I went out to the ruins and scrounged anything useful I could find. I was just doing what I do to survive, you know. Maybe get some things together for when we moved on, but then you didn't come back. And Bo said folks around here could use this stuff, so I set up shop. So hey, if you ever need anything out there in the worlds or whatever, you just let me know. I got all kinds of stuff for trade. I'll be here when you get back.
You think the root are really gone for good?
Oh, hey there,
I
traveler.
don't think it matters. We gotta find joy where we can while we can.
Let me know if you see something you need. I'll be here if you need fixing. Can't say I understand that old Ford, but he ain't never content here. Something haunts him. You can see it in his eyes.
Audrey, I've been meaning to tell you something.
You sounded so much like Brad just now. Sorry. What did you want to say?
Oh, I saw a bird this morning. A seagull. Or something.
Oh, that's nice. You've been out in the city, yeah? It's so beautiful, the way nature's reclaiming it.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad.
So many new faces these days. Things must be getting a mite easier out there. Welcome, traveler. I'm Reginald Malone, but my friends call me Reggie. You can too. Heard the old founder dragged you down into the ward on some mysterious business of his. I'm glad to see one of you came back safe and sound. Can't say the same for Ford. Clementine neither. Wish she hadn't gone and followed you. I don't suppose you know where they are now. Taken? I don't like the sound of that. Well, I hope you don't give up on him. Ford now. I suspect he'll come back when he's good and ready. But folks are worried about Clementine. I have been known to tell a story or two. Though old Mudtooth does give me a run for my money. Or did you mean that I collect the stories? Because I do that too. And I'd love to hear your tale, traveler. Oh, now that sounds like the start of a damn good story. What brought you out here? Damn. Well, it's a common enough tale. But I hope you know I'm genuinely sorry for your loss. Everyone here can identify. But I know that don't necessarily make it easier. All we can do is shelter the joy wherever we find it, every day. How about your friend? How'd you meet her? So you, owe her a debt? Or maybe you paid it off by getting her here. Hey, what do I know? I tell you what, though, ain't no logic keeping tabs with people's lives. We look out for each other because we're human, yeah? It's the only way that makes sense to me. The only thing that makes humanity worth being around. Speaking of your friend, I heard she came in with a nasty case of root rot. What happened to you two out there? Son of a gun. Those sneaky bastards just don't know when to quit. And I'm real sorry to hear that, traveler. It must have been one hell of an experience. I'm glad you made it. Well, don't you worry. We've dealt with nastier things here, believe me. I reckon she'll come through just fine. What about you? What do you hope to find out here? Well, that's the spirit of the town, ain't it? You're in the right place, friend. Nothing we need more than folks willing to help each other out. So now I've got a measure of you. Is there anything I can do for you? What would you like to know? Old as teeth, friend. Old as teeth. Everything we know comes from Founder Ford. That title don't come from nowhere. He was there at the start. When the world ended, about 120 years ago, give or take a decade, Ford and some survivors took shelter in old Ward 13 over there. I don't know how many wards there were, but they were all part of something called the Dreamer Project that went bad. Real bad. There are rumors. Some say he made a deal with the Root, and that's why he's so hell-bent on stopping them. Some say he was experimented on in the Dreamer Project. Some say he found some kind of magic out there in the years when he was traveling the worlds. Truth is, nobody knows. Maybe not even Ford himself. Personally, I think Ford's just tough as dirt and refuses to die. Ford and Clementine are the only ones what really know, and they don't like to talk about it. But old Reggie's got a gift for collecting stories, and I've gleaned a few things. At the wards, see, they connected people to machines that made them dream about other worlds. But these worlds were real, and the dreamers were seeing through the eyes of someone that lived there. Sounds like a bridge too far, don't it? It did for me, too. At least until I met Clementine. She was one of the dreamers, if you can believe it. The only one still alive, as far as I can tell. She says she got sucked out somehow, dragged into her dream world before the root came to Earth. I don't understand it much. I reckon she don't either. But she found herself in a place called Remnant, a world covered in snow and inhabited by giant intelligent rats. Don't know how she survived, but I imagine it has to do with those powers of hers. Hey, that's the story I still haven't gotten out of her. Sure is. But power like that don't come without a cost. I can only imagine what it must take out of her to control a power like that. Oh, about 20-odd years ago, we had almost nothing left. Trapped in Ward 13 with nowhere to go and the root getting worse all around us. Then this stranger wanders in out of the storm, makes friends, picks up some gear, and damned if they don't take the fight to the root. I still don't know if that wanderer was crazy or brave or both, but they did it. They beat the root, and things got better day by day. Once it seemed safe to live outside again, Commander Ford made plans to build this town here. The Wanderer was on a mission from the start. Said something about getting to the tower on the old atoll out there. Sounded crazy the first time I heard it. But turns out, that tower was one of the old wards. The Wanderer's path wasn't easy, though. Our Wanderer had to track down Founder Ford just to find a way in. And that meant following his trail. Just you wait. I'm getting to that. Well, Ford, it seemed, had gotten himself mixed up in another world's affairs, helping a rebellion out here. And he was imprisoned for it. Now, no one here knew that, but the Root Mother knew. And that's who our Wanderer left to see. The Root Mother's got a story all her own, and I don't know half of it. Before she was the Root Mother, she was Evelyn Ford. That's right, the Founder's wife. Bound herself to the Root, she did, and it changed her. Turned her into something else. But when the Wanderer showed up, she pulled herself out. The Root Mother, or whatever she called herself after that, sent our Wanderer down a trail of sorrow, at the end of which was the Founder himself. The Wanderer freed him, and used his knowledge to get into the tower, and destroy the last dreamer. Or what we thought was the last dreamer anyway. It did weaken the Root for a time, but I guess that weren't the whole story. So, the dreamer was dead. The storm subsided. But the Root, they were still around. Then Founder Ford tells us about the oldest ward, the first one, where the Dreamer Project began. He hoped there might be some clue there as to why the Deadwood was still coming to our world. So our Wanderer goes a-hunting. Oh, they found more than even old Ford bargained for. You ain't wrong. Place was full of doors. And I'm not talking about the quiet humankind. One of these doors led to the world of Remnant, where the Wanderer found Clementine. Clementine opened a door what nobody else could have opened. And inside? I hate to admit it, but I don't know what they found inside. All I know is the Root stopped coming when the Wanderer and Clementine were through. They'd done it. Saved the whole damn world. Just making sense of things. Stories make us who we are. If we don't share them, don't learn from them, we're just bouncing around in the dark. The story's pretty long, friend. Let me know if you get tired of the telling. After the world fell, see, Founder Ford carried the whole burden of what happened on his shoulders. Tell the truth, I don't think he ever put that burden down. But let's see, where were we? Ah, yes. Founder Ford carried a heavy burden in those earlier days. Probably still does. But what could he do? At first, nothing. He pressed on with the work of helping others survive. If you ask me, that was the best thing he could have done. And it never should have stopped. Maybe he wouldn't have if Evelyn hadn't. See, Evelyn was his wife, and she was something special. She could, hear the Root, see what they saw. At first, she thought she was going insane. But then she started using it, spying on the dead wood. And she saw something coming. Something big. She saw a monster, something the ward, the whole city couldn't handle. And only one way out. She communed with the root, I guess you'd call it. Melded her mind to theirs and drove the monster off. But the root swallowed her, body and mind, until there was nothing left of Evelyn Ford. Her husband lost it then. He left the ward for months, sometimes years at a time, wandering the worlds trying to find something, anything that could stop the root. And one day, he just didn't come back. Well, now my story's not through yet. The Fords, they had a daughter, Nadine. She was maybe 17 when her mother disappeared. Too young to run the ward, but when her pa was gone, folks would ask her their questions instead. Then one day, she was just in charge of everything. Nadine had her own daughter, Ellen, who really made us who we are today. Commander Ellen Ford inherited her mother's pragmatism, her grandfather's doggedness, and her grandmother's willingness to make hard choices. So whenever someone showed up, dehydrated, starving, half mad from loss, she took them in, taught them a trade in medicine and supplies, gave them a family. So you were paying attention. I owe a lot to Ellen Ford, and we all do. And I miss her something fierce, let me tell you. She was a force, that woman. Founder Ford came back once. Did I mention that? Almost 60 years ago, right after his daughter Ellen's mother passed away. Ellen couldn't have been more than 18 at the time. But she told him the war didn't need him. Didn't have room for some legend who was just as likely to leave as to lead. I reckon Founder Ford saw the wisdom of that, because a while later, he left again and didn't return for a long time. When he finally did, he wasn't leading us no more. He was content to leave the ward in better hands. Ellen's hands. Well, she fell sick some time ago. Most of us have lost folks without any chance to say goodbye. But we got that with Ellen. Why, she even made things right with her grandfather before the end, or so I hear. The two of them together put Bo in charge of the board. No one was more surprised about that than Bo. But you know what? He's the right man for the job. Ain't no one loves the ward, loves these people more than the kid who was raised by him. He's gonna do all right. Don't be a stranger.
What? Hey, get away from my stew! Oh, it's you. What? No, of course not. Never seen you before in my life. I just figure you're you. You know? And I'm me, and that's where we are. So, what can old Mudtooth do for you, huh? Well, shoot, Traveler, I might have some answers for you. Town, you call it. Back in my day, a place like this wouldn't be considered much more than a camp or a bivouac. You might call it. Nah, this ain't no town. Not yet. But it is a fine place to set up kip. I lived by myself for years, see? Had myself what you calls it, a hockapatopter. That thing could fly to the moon and back. It could. Anywho, I was living by myself when my boy Bravis showed up saying we should move on. Told me it wasn't safe for me to be living like I've been living no more. He told me about this place. Got some nice people here. Took some getting used to, being around folks again. Well, Bravis, he's my son. 'Twere his idea to come join this little shanty town. Not a bad idea it was, neither. He's over yonder, at the shooting range, if you're looking to find him. Not much of a talker, though, that one. Guess he didn't get his old man's gift for gab, eh? Fair enough. Take care, young'un. Don't be a stranger.
What is this place?
How can this forgotten want be obeyed? Ask its questions. I offer what truth I have. The beast is a part of Yesha. Wolf and doe, doom and hope, were already here when the pan crossed the darkness. The vaults are both in a vision, but alas, my ancestors hid the former. At the height of our empire, the Ravager attacked and nearly destroyed the pan. It was only through the Song of Fear that we were able to quiet the beast. Would that we had slaughtered it then, but the Lamiers stayed our hand, and the interest of the balance. The balance of life, Baxuldak. That by which all things are connected to all things. Where the Vaunt lived in service of the guardian that gives life, the Lamiers served to inter the dead. It was they that saw two sides to everything. The Lamier asserted that a healthy forest holds both flowers and fangs, hope and doom, life and death. If we destroyed one without thought, we would ultimately destroy all. So, the Ravager was spared, kept at peace by song and strain for long and long, until it came. No, not Ford, nor the Destroyer, nor the Paxotech before me. Though it destroyed, nonetheless. With the Ravager's peace broken, the unliving pestilence took its place. All things became corrupted, and I became... this. Yes. The root, as the Paxotech put it, have broken the balance. It is their purpose, for they are the end of balance. The end of all things. Now, to save itself, the Ravager serves the pestilence as faithfully as the Lamir served the wolf. The balance is undone. Only the death of the Ravager and the restoration of the Doe can renew it. I know this in my bones. A spirit worthy of praise. A blessed portent of hope. The Doe is life and protection. Archetypal grace to confront the Ravager's hunger. For an epoch and more, the Doe has led her counterpart on a chase. Eternal. Alas, no more. For long and long, Doe and Wolf have been embattled, neither emerging the victor. For neither can. The one may gore and the other gnash. Neither will kill the other. Yet those foreign to Yesha, those not bound to the balance, are under no strictures. Paxeltak entered the Wolf. Pestilence gave it new life. Just so. And the Wolf has sworn servitude in exchange. For the Ravager loves nothing more than its own life. The balance has been shattered, and the future is uncertain. If the Wolf can die, the Doe may as well. And the Pestilence holds no compunctions for consequences. The children of the Doe believe the balance was ever a lie. That the Ravager should have died at the first, and the Doe must be reborn. I can agree with them on the latter. Yesha's only hope is for Foreign to stop Foreign. Paxeltak must face the Pestilence and all who would side with it. The children of the Red Doe are innocence and naivete. They believe the balance was broken when the Empress first ate the fruit of life. If the balance was ever real to begin with. They're idealistic, unreasonable, foolhardy. And yet, when I look at what our ways have wrought, and how faithfully the children follow the Doe, I find it harder to question their beliefs. I was attacked long ago. Seasons and seasons. It started as a small wound, but then it grew. Consumed me. Now, there is more of the plague than the ban. In truth, I know not why I still live, if living this truly be. Perhaps the pestilence wants something from me, from this body, and I live only because I fight. It is a fight I will lose. This is certain. The pestilence grows inside me. Even now, as we converse. It cannot be outlawed. Very good. Now, what else can I help with? Let it take what it wishes, and let its tithe uplift the good things in this world. Make good use of it, even as the Paxeltak's own gift echoes through the very sky.
This isn't looking good.